What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Doncho back here with another video. Today we're switching it up a bit. It's not a vlog, it's a pattern making video. So today we're going to be learning how to pattern a skirt block, a basic block that you can use as a base to make any other garment that you want that is similar to a skirt, okay? Or any other versions of a skirt, okay? So I'm going to be doing a little bit more vlogs like this, or not vlogs, but videos like this, because I want to do more teaching. I want to do more teaching on pattern making and actually how to sew certain things. There are things on YouTube that I couldn't find when I was starting out sewing. So I want to start off with the basics and eventually get to those other things, those other items that I haven't seen. That way you guys can have that for your projects as well. So I'll be using this book here by Winifred Aldridge. It's the Metric Pattern Cutting for Women's Wear. Okay, so I'll be taking all of my instructions from this. This book is in centimeters, so that's the metric system I'll be using. Centimeters is easier for me anyway. I don't have to break down any fractions and things like that. So next we're gonna go over materials and the measurements that you need and how to measure your body. Okay, so please make sure that you like and subscribe this video. If you want to see more content like this, I'm going to be working on dropping 1 to 2 tutorials a week. First, we're going to stick with the bodice block, and then in the next video, we're going to, take the bodice block and actually teach you how to put it together. Okay, so you're going to need your waist measurement, your hip measurement, and you're going to need your hip to waist measurement, the distance between your hip and your waist. For materials, you're going to need a straight ruler, a marking utensil, preferably a pencil, scissors, make sure they're paper scissors and not your fabric scissors, a somewhat of a curve ruler, and a tracing wheel, and of course, your pattern paper of choice. So the first thing I'm doing here is writing down the measurements that I need for this particular demo for this pattern. So I'm writing down the waist measurement is going to be 68 centimeters. The hip measurement is going to be 94 centimeters. And the skirt length, I chose 20 centimeters. That was just a number that seemed like it was long enough, maybe knee length or right above the knee for the mannequin. So that's what I went with. So the first thing that you want to do is draw a horizontal line all the way across your pattern paper. And then you want to mark maybe a few inches in. You don't want to be right on the edge, and that's going to be your first point, and that's going to be point number 1. For our first point, we're going to take our hip measurement, 94 centimeters, and divide it by 2. And that's 47 plus 1.5 centimeters, and that's going to be 48.5 centimeters. So I just grab my ruler, find 48.5, and I mark that with number 2. Next, you're going to take your skirt length number and draw a straight line, mine being 20 centimeters. I drew a line 20 centimeters down from point 1, and that's made point 3. And then I did the same thing for point 2, and that would be point 4. And then I connected 3 to 4, and now you have a box that's going to basically contain the pattern. Next, we're going to do point 1 to point 5, and that's going to be the waist to hip measurement. And we're going to square that all the way across, making point 6. Now we're going to plot point 5 to point 7, and that's going to be a quarter of the hip measurement. So that is going to be 94 centimeters for me, divided by 4, and then I'm going to add 1.5 centimeters, and that was 25. So I went from point 5, measured out 25 centimeters, and that made point 7. From point 7, you're going to square down at a 90-degree angle to the bottom of the skirt, and that will be point 8 in between point 3 and 4. The left side of the block is going to be the back pattern piece, and we're going to start at plot 1 and we're going to go to plot 9 at the waist. So we're going to take our waist measurement. For this example, mine is 68 centimeters. We're going to divide it by 4 and then add 4 centimeters. And that was 21 centimeters for me. So I started at point 1, measured out 21 centimeters, and marked my point 9 right there on the waist. Now we're going to mark point 9 and point 10. Point 10 is going to be 1.25 centimeters above point 9. So that's going to be right above the waist, 1.25 centimeters. Now join point 10 to point 1 and 7 using a dotted line, a straight dotted line. Now we're going to take the measurement from point 1 to point 10 and divide it by 3. And those 2 points would be point 11 and then point 12. Next, we're going to draw a straight dotted line from point 11 and point 12. And we're going to measure down from point 11, 14 centimeters, and that's going to make point 13. Then we're going to measure from point 12, 13 centimeters, and that's going to be point 14. And that is basically the end of the dart. The dart is going to be 2 centimeters. So you're going to measure 1 centimeter to the left of point 11 and 1 centimeter to the right of point 11. And you're going to connect those 2 lines to point 13. Then you're going to do the same thing for point 12, 1 centimeter to the left, 1 centimeter to the right, and then you're going to connect those to point 14, finishing the dart. Now you can use a curve ruler or you can freehand it like me. More than likely you may have to make some adjustments later, but you're going to connect the point that's to the left of point 11 to point 1, the point that's the right of point 11 to the point that's the left of point 12, and the point that's the right of 12 connected to point 10. Now the dotted line from point 7 to point 9, we're going to measure out 0.5 centimeters. And then we're going to take our curve ruler and connect point 10 to point 7, making sure we hit that 0.5 centimeter mark away from the dotted line. And that's going to be basically forming the hip of the skirt. Now we're going to do the same thing to the front part of the pattern. So we're going to take our waist again, 68 centimeters for my demo, and we're going to divide that by 4, and we're going to add 2.5 centimeters. For me, that was 19.5. So from point 2, I measured 19.5 centimeters to create point 15. Point 16 is 1.25 centimeters above point 15. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to join point 16 to points 2 and 7 using a straight dotted line. So now you're going to measure point 2 to 16. Mine was 20 centimeters, and we're going to divide it by 3. And that point from point 16 to point 17 is going to be 6.6 centimeters for me. From point 17, we're going to draw a straight dotted line that is squared. And from point 17, we're going to measure down 12 centimeters to create point 18, the bottom of the dart. This dart is going to be 2.5 centimeters wide, so we're going to measure 1.25 to the left of point 17 and to the right of point 17. Then we're going to draw the same type of curve from point 16 to the point that is left of point 17. Then from the point that's to the right of point 17, we're going to connect that to point 2. And this line is not going to be as curved because this is going to be the front of the front pattern piece. Next, we draw our straight lines to complete the dart. And you're also going to measure out 0.5 centimeters from the line that is 0.7 to 0.15. And we're going to draw another curve, basically forming the hip for the front pattern piece. And this is what the completed skirt block should look like. Now we're going to fold in our darts. So you're going to take the first line of the dart and fold it over to the second line. Basically closing the dart how it would be on the final garment. You're going to take your tracing wheel and you're going to run the tracing wheel along the line of the waist, forming the ridges, so when we draw the finished waistline, we'll see a little point at the top of that dart, and you'll see that once we cut it out. And you're going to do that for all of the darts. After we cut out our pattern pieces, we want to label the skirt block. So we're going to write skirt block. We're going to write that it is the back, the size, and how many of these we should cut. And we are definitely cutting 2 of these because we're going to put a zipper on the back. And that's going to be in the next video. Normally you will also put seam allowance, but we didn't add any seam allowance to this block. So we're going to do that for the next video. Also, don't forget to mark your grain line. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Now you know how to make a skirt block. In the next video, we're going to add the seam allowance, make the waistband, and put the skirt together. All right, so if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to continue to see more pattern making videos and construction videos. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank you, everyone! Thank you, Elmar! Boom!